Oh, what's up, Jack?
Hey man, I was trying to get up. I was trying to get into the comments in what do you call it, TikTok.
Yep.
I was arguing with the guest there, but yeah, it's nice to hear from you, man.
Yeah, what'd you think about that call with Don Lemon?
I mean, I'll tell you this. I like Don Lemon. I think him and I can go for a beer together and have a good conversation. So I think his I don't believe he's honest when he's in front of the media.
Why? Why do you say that? Tell me.
He just feels disingenuous, man. And when I say that, I will say I'll give him some ups when he did his like Don Lemon on the street, and he actually had a lot of Trump supporters, and he released that. And now that for me, I was like, yes, man, Don, you're back. And I was excited for that. But then he's gone back to like being a guest on CNN and taking a complete kind of partisan position. And now, like, I'll say, like,
well, let me hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you said he takes partisan positions. Would you say I do the same thing? Would you say I take partisan positions?
Yeah. So I
okay. So give me an example. Let's talk about this because I think it's a good conversation. You think I take partisan positions? Like, just give me one example and then let's talk about it.
Okay. So Don Lemon made claims that Donald Trump devices hate, he creates hate, and he's a racist.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that as well, and I can give you examples of why I believe that.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm interviewing Don Lemon, Don Lemon's a great man, great reporter. I'm just going to say, hey, demonstrate that for me, man. Like, show me some examples.
Sure.
Unfortunately, like, I kind of felt like it was more of like a kind of a broham for you guys.
Okay, well, let's start with that. First of all, it was Donald Trump who said in an interview in Playboy magazine that he did not want black people counting his money in his casinos. He wanted Jews counting his money. He's had in the last 28 positions that he has hired, high-level positions, they've all been white people. He's had one of the whitest administrations. By the way, the thousands of discrimination lawsuits that he had to pay out way before he became the president of the United States. Are you aware of that? Before he became the president, thousands of discrimination lawsuits that he lost.
Are you going to go on a diatribe and ask me 6 questions and only let me?
I'm not asking you questions. The question is different. I'm giving you examples of why I believe Donald Trump is a racist. Those aren't questions.
Ask me 3 or 6 different questions.
I'm not asking you questions. I'm giving you examples of why I believe Donald Trump is, in fact, a racist, bigoted individual. Let me ask you another question. I'll ask you a question, okay? When NASCAR decided to ban the Confederate flag, and I think most people in this country know what the Confederate flag represents: hatred, bigotry, racism. 24 hours after NASCAR banned the Confederate flag, Donald Trump did an interview on Fox News attacking NASCAR, angry at NASCAR for banning the Confederate flag. Now, you tell me, sir, people that love the Confederate flag, that defend the Confederate flag, that are angry when a large business bans the Confederate flag, what would you call those people?
Okay, those people would be bigots, likely. However,
okay, so Donald Trump is likely a bigot. Would you admit that?
Let me finish. Were the people angry about the Confederate flag being banned, or were they angry about the freedom of expression? Because you tried to trap the last guy in this, and you tried to trap him.
Hold on a second. Okay, hold on a second. First of all, the first thing you said is probably the only thing I agree with, which is most likely a bigot. Yes, Donald Trump is most likely a bigot. You see, when we talk about hate speech, when we talk about I'm responding to what you just said. No, a normal reaction from normal human beings that are decent people, when we talk about the Confederate flag, when we talk about the Nazi sign, when we talk about the white power sign, the one that Kyle Rittenhouse used, okay, no, they're symbols of hatred. The Confederate flag is a symbol of hate and racism. The white supremacy sign is a symbol of hatred. The Nazi sign is a symbol of hatred. When people and their first reaction to it on a national show is to be angry that somebody barred it from being within their business, that is bigoted in nature, and I would label that person most likely a racist.
So you're going 3 avenues over. I said the people that like Confederate flags are likely bigoted. Mm-hmm. However, if you're standing up against people censoring speech, does that make you bigoted? Even if what you're defending,
you're not. This has nothing to do with censoring speech. If you're talking about,
it does.
Hold on, let me finish and let me explain. So hopefully you can understand. With all due respect.
Oh, I can understand.
Okay,
it's like Don Lemon.
No, I don't.
And Twitter.
I don't think you do. So I'm going to try to explain.
Don Lemon and Twitter. It's
okay.
The same example.
Okay. I'm going to try to explain it to you. Okay. When we're talking about freedom of speech, it doesn't pertain to NASCAR or private business.
Freedom, I know it's not private business.
Then if it doesn't, then hold on, let me finish. If we agree, which I think we do, and if freedom of speech doesn't pertain to private business, then why do you keep making excuses for the bigots, which I agree with, that are defending it? It only pertains to the government, freedom of speech.
Sure.
It's private business, and this is a flag. Donald Trump has a huge platform, the former leader of the free world, okay? And he is defending a flag. Now, if you want to make an excuse for him and say, well, he's defending freedom of speech, this has nothing to do with...
That's not what I said.
Okay, come again. Go ahead.
That's not what I said. I asked a question. I said, were they defending this or that? Because I'm not aware of this.
Here's why Donald Trump did what he did. Here's why I believe Donald Trump did what he did. Okay. He knows that his base of supporters, not all of them, but
when did he make this claim?
Okay. Let me finish my statement. I just started the statement by saying, in my opinion. So if you'll let me finish. In my opinion, Donald Trump defended the Confederate flag because he knows these are not Democrats that are going to be voting back then for Joe Biden or voting for Kamala Harris. He knows that his base of supporters, his base, not all of them, are Proud Boy members, people like David Duke, and the same types of people that stormed the Capitol on January 6th, which are right-wing fringe groups, some of them hate groups and white supremacist groups. If he gets up there and he denounces the Confederate flag, he knows he's losing part of his base. He's a coward at best. Best case scenario, a coward who is okay with defending those who throw out hate speech and proudly show their Confederate flag.
How long are you going to editorialize for?
I'm sorry?
How long are you going to editorialize for? Because this is all your opinion.
How am I an editor? What the hell? Okay, you don't even know what I am.
You started the conversation with
stop. Hey, I'm going to call you a dope now, okay? Because you're obviously not very intelligent and you think you are. So let me be very clear so even somebody like you can understand, because you have no idea what freedom of speech pertains to. I thought you did. And now you have no idea what I do. Ever since I've been doing a talk show, I never called myself a journalist. I am an opinionated talk show host. That means, sir, and I'm going to speak slowly for you now, it means I share my opinions. I talk about the news. I try to be fact-based, but I'm going to have many of opinions. Some people are going to disagree with them. This isn't editorial anything. I let dopes like you call into this show, and I probably had you on 10 minutes too long. You don't understand what freedom of speech is. I never called myself a journalist, and you seem to defend all of Donald Trump's rhetoric and even defending the Confederate flag. Have a nice day, sir. You don't even know what this show is. You don't even know the difference between an opinionated talk show host and what's an editorial person or a journalist. What a dope.